Today I'm going to teach you how to make space music. Hey everybody, welcome to Garden Sound 365. My name is Gardner, and this is the show where we write music every day for a year. Thank you to everybody who commented and watched my video yesterday. I got great reception from that. I got a request from one of my viewers to make a song that gives you the sense of space. This particular subscriber is a big fan of Star Citizen, which is a game that's coming out pretty soon. I'm really excited about it. I've been excited about it for years. I'm going to be writing music that could go in Star Citizen, and to do that, we've got to talk a little bit about music theory.
And now for Theory with Professor Gardner.
Alright, in music there are these things called intervals. Alright, and intervals are the distance between any two notes. If we're talking about diatonic music, then the distance between two notes on the scale is the interval. So for instance, this right here has a distance of 0 because it hasn't moved any of the notes. Got it? And this distance here is a distance of 2. First scale degree to the second scale degree. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. That's called a second. This distance called a third because it goes from the first scale degree to the third scale degree. This distance, that sounds kind of unique. This distance is called a fourth, and it is one of what are called perfect intervals in a diatonic scale. There are 3 of these. The octave or unison, which is this, or this. The fourth, which we just talked about. And the fifth. Now, space music is normally using a lot of perfect fourths. Sounds kind of spacey, doesn't it? Lots of perfect fifths. It's kind of spacey. You can stack these fifths in interesting ways. For instance, C, G, D can be rearranged to C, G, D, like this. Kind of spacey, right? These are called quartal or quintal in the event of using a lot of perfect fifths. Quartal or quintal harmonies. The other thing that's in this kind of music is what I call like epic building. Epic building happens because of parallelism, keeping the same amount of distance between two notes and moving it up or down. It's very common in pop music, actually. Think about it. So, very simply, we're going to use those 2 techniques to make some space music. Here we go. This should starkly contrast my recomposed episodes where I have a clear goal in mind. When I'm just composing like right now, there's a lot of experimentation that happens. Composition involves a lot of experimentation, and you can't be afraid of where the song might go. In fact, that's the point. You need to be open to suggestion from your mind's ear. The first thing we need to do is kind of decide what tonal center we're going to be in, because these songs don't really operate in the traditional diatonic keys that you would learn in Western music theory. They really just operate with a tonal center, meaning that there's a specific pitch that is more representative of the root of the chord cluster or chord cloud than any other note. I think for this we're going to use F. I really like F as a key. I think it's overlooked a lot. So we're just going to use that simple chord stack, and we're going to have that repeat for a while, okay? Because again, we want to build repetition. That's how we get things to sound epic. Space is the interval trick I talked about. The epicness comes from repetition and parallelism. So now we're going to bring in some strings. But I don't want to bring in strings like a string emulator. I think I want to bring in something that sounds like strings, but is still a synthesizer. Things that are very synthesizer-esque with a lot of artificial sounds, very space. was fun. So you see, it's just about creating these huge atmospheres and these big soundscapes, because that's what space is. Space is enormous. It's literally infinite. We're gonna have this piano figure go the whole time. Very Debussy, very. All right, let's get some more cool noises in here. Now I'm going to take this texture and I'm going to stretch it. I stretched it and I used the Beats algorithm, so it's going to chop it up really finely, run it through a shit ton of reverb and turn it way down. And I'm going to apply a utility to widen it. Okay, I'm gonna call this example done. This is an example of what I call an atmosphere, okay? This isn't necessarily the kind of music you'd put behind a battle scene, but if you have a big capital ship or a big giant spaceship kind of meandering, floating through space, this is it right here. And the way this works is you've got a quintal harmony, all right, represented by these piano lines right here. Quintal harmony with all of these meandering synthesizer textures that are basically complementing that using the same notes and meandering around. If that makes any sense. But since I've got a whole lot of time today and that didn't take me very long, let's make something a bit more epic as well. So today you get a bonus song. You get 2 songs today. I'm gonna do the classic Hans Zimmer, all right? And that is where you have some different notes that are repeating, and the bass motion is basically taking control of the harmony progression. That's not exactly Hans Zimmer. He might be a little bit more diatonic than the exploratory nature I'm feeling today. So let's move some of these notes around until we get something a little bit more Hans Zimmer. We got it now. Alright, let's extend this out for a long ass time so I can get a good clean recording of this arpeggio. I just realized this has a very similar progression to Moonlight Sonata by Beethoven, but whatever. Now we're gonna go to the 7th. So again, this is part of that quartal harmony. So we need something a little bit more spacey here. So that kind of motion, where it's counterpoint, it's contrapuntal. That's the word you're looking for. Eventually we're gonna bring in some big ass drums going boom boom. Alright, now we're gonna shape each of these individually. Alright, now we're going to freeze this. I'm going to flatten it down to its core components, and then we're going to take those notes and expand them into different tracks so I can compress them and treat them individually. This is going to take a minute, so I'm going to fast forward through this. I call this my Requiem for a Dream melody. We're gonna go ba-bum, 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 and really play with that close interval. That really tight nada, nada. It's a half step. We're gonna fuck with that hard right now. Now we're going to do a little Philip Glass trick. Alright, we're going to increase the speed of this melody, not the harmonic rhythm nor the notes. We turn them into triplets, and we do not increase the harmonic rhythm nor do we change the notes. Alright, let's add some vocals. Oh yeah. That's perfect. So we're gonna put in Supercharger, which is my favorite compressor for vocals at the moment. Although Mr. Bill's got a different compressor he wants me to try. I haven't tried it yet. So we've got vocals on the Supercharger, and we're going to boost these up to around 3 decibels. Some shaping. And through another Supercharger. Get rid of these breaths in here. That's some 16th century counterpoint right there, gentlemen, gentlemen, gentlemen. Alright, so here's what we're going to do with these. Let's use the plugin called Outer Space. Been wanting to use this for years. There you go. There's some fucking Hans Zimmer shit for you right there, boys and girls. I'm gonna go ahead and put both of these songs up today. Use them in your compilations for Space Engineers or for Star Citizen. Any game you've got where you're doing like a compilation of game footage and you want some cool music in the background, royalty free. Gotcha, fam. As always, my name's GARDNSOUND, or Gardner. If you want to hear both of these songs, right here. If you want to see yesterday's episode where I recomposed a song by Post Malone, click up here. If you want to subscribe to me, click over here. And if you like what I do, you want to help me put some bread on the table, support me on Patreon, please. I'm going to give both of these project files away to my Patreon supporters. Thank y'all very much. Have a nice day.